What's up, guys? So, as promised, I was going to start a series about fitness myths that are out there. And that's what I'm here to start today. I'm going to bring you fitness myth numero uno. It's a big one. It's one that has you spending a lot of money that you don't need to spend. It's the anabolic window that comes from training and getting that protein in. You've probably heard it over and over and over again. You must get that protein in as fast as you can after that workout because you've only got 45 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour. It varies all the time. But you got to get it in to take advantage of this window, or it's going to zap all your gains and you're not going to gain a single thing because you don't get that protein in right away. I'm telling you guys, it's not true. Not true at all. Not only does it not need to be the fastest form of protein that you can find, it doesn't need to be anything. Yeah, you should eventually eat after you lift, but it doesn't need to be right away, and it certainly doesn't need to be within 45 minutes or you're not going to get the gains that you would have. The research doesn't back it up at all. Now, there's a lot of research out there that does support this theory, but it's flawed. It's all very, very, very flawed. There's usually one of two things that all this research shows. One, they either go into the workout fasted, in which case, yeah, I would agree, get that protein in after your workout because you're going to need it, but I would never recommend you go into a workout fasted to begin with. Or two, they took pre-workout protein and post-workout protein. How do you know which one did which? In fact, from most of the research that I've seen, it almost appears to me like the pre-workout is more important than the post-workout. Now, supposedly when you train, you get an increase in protein synthesis. And this is true. It's absolutely been shown over and over and over again. But it's not just this 1 hour. In fact, most research shows anywhere between like 16 to even up to 48 hours post-workout, your body has an increase in protein synthesis for the muscles that you just trained. So you don't need to get it in within an hour. You talk about a window. How about a 48-hour window? That's a pretty big anabolic window, don't you think? So there's a couple pieces of research I want to point to that give really good support that this window does not exist. One was out of Finland, and they actually compared training fasted and not, and they actually showed that at 60 minutes post-workout, there was no difference between not training and training. Did you catch that? At 60 minutes, there was no difference in an increase in protein synthesis whether you trained or not. However, at 185 minutes, there was a significant increase in protein synthesis for the training group, where obviously the group that didn't train stayed the same. Well, hold on a second. We need to get protein within an hour, but your protein synthesis hasn't even increased yet. Interesting. The other one is done by Blake Rasmussen, and they showed that at an hour and 3 hours, whether you took your protein at 1 hour after your workout or 3 hours after your workout, the increase in protein synthesis and hypertrophy and everything else was exactly the same. Hour or 3 hours, did not matter. No difference whatsoever. So, why does this anabolic window exist, in theory? Well, think about it. All your bodybuilding magazines and fitness magazines and big websites that we won't name that claim that you need to get this protein in, well, they're paid to tell you this. This is what they need you to do. They need you to spend your money on their products. And that's why this whole fast protein thing comes in. And I should probably do another video on this, but I'm trying to squeeze this one into this one. Hopefully it won't get too long. Bear with me. But your protein, your whey protein, we need to stop wasting our money on these isolates and hydrosylates and whatever else you want to call them that work better because they're super fast absorbing. It's crap. You are You are spending more money for an inferior product. Whey protein concentrate, which is the cheapest form of protein that you can find, whey protein, that's the best one for you. It still is fast in theory, which we have already proved doesn't really matter, but it's also the form that still has all your vitamins, minerals, all the different nutrients that come along with whey protein. When you go into isolates and hydroxylates, all that stuff is stripped out because they strip out the lactate and everything to make it digest faster, just to make it nothing but the protein left. But it strips out all the other things that are good for you. So it's an inferior product that they hike the price way up and they make you buy because you need it, but you don't. So I'm not saying whey protein is not a good product. It's a fantastic product. I think it's a good, cheap, as long as you buy the right stuff, cheap product, and it's a good source of protein. In fact, I would argue that whey protein is the most high quality form of protein that we have available to us, and it's cheap. Even if it's $50 for a 5-pound jug of it, it's still under $1 per serving. And where else are you going to get 25-ish grams of protein for under $1? You're not going to get it from chicken or fish or anything else. So, from that matter, whey is good. But just stop wasting your money on the more expensive stuff. Unless there is one instance where I would recommend you do an isolate, and that's if you're lactose intolerant, because they strip out the lactose. So obviously that would be better for you. So we got to stop with this anabolic window. You go home and eat whenever you want, as long as it's not like, you know, several hours later, and even if it is, it probably doesn't make a difference anyways. Don't worry about having fat with it. Don't worry about how many carbohydrates. Whoa, there's a fly in here. Yeah, you need to replenish your glycogen stores, but it doesn't need to be right away. Not unless you're going to go work out again later that day. Then sure, start replacing those glycogen stores soon. But otherwise, you're going to replenish them anyways once you start eating, so it doesn't need to be right away. It's not going to drive, the insulin's not going to drive it into your muscles, the protein, any better. It hasn't been shown. So don't worry about it. Okay? I've actually written about this before. I did a 3-part series on lifestyle and strength, which I will link below that you can read if you want. But I think I summed it up nicely here, I hope. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because there's going to be a lot more good content about myths coming up, and you don't want to miss it because you don't want to keep wasting your money and wasting your time. Alright? Talk to you later.